Hello everyone. So today I am going to explain the concept dipole moment, which is very important in the chapter chemical bonding. So students, I have already prepared a notes on this so that it can save the time and so that it will be easy even for you to note the points which I am going to explain. So let us start this topic, dipole moment. Before knowing about what is dipole moment, where exactly do we apply this concept, let us know for what kind of compounds do we discuss about the dipole moment. Dipole moment is generally discussed for covalent compounds. Covalent compounds are generally non-polar in nature. We have generally two types of compounds, that is ionic and covalent. So when we take covalent compounds, they are not 100% covalent in nature. They have partial polar in nature. So in order to decide whether a given covalent compound is polar or non-polar, how do we decide that? When you say that a covalent compound is polar and when you say that a covalent compound is non-polar, so in such cases the dipole moment concept will be very useful to us. So nothing but we are going to find the percentage of ionic character in a covalent compound. How much ionic nature is present in a given covalent compound. So this is exactly just opposite to Fossen's rule, right? What do we do in Fossen's rule? In Fossen's rule, we find the percentage of covalent character in an ionic compound. In an ionic compound, how much covalent nature is present can be known from Fossen's rule. Whereas here we are finding the percentage ionic character in a covalent compound. Okay. So let us see some basic info which is related to dipole moment. As I told you just now, dipole moment concept is applied for covalent compounds and in order to decide whether the given compound is polar or non-polar. And what do we do exactly here? With the help of dipole moment, we will be finding how much ionic character is present in a covalent compound. And secondly, dipole moment is what kind of quantity? Generally, physical quantities are of two types, scalar quantities and vector quantities. Now, dipole moment is considered as vector quantity because it has direction. Any physical quantity which has direction is said to be what? Vector quantity. And our dipole moment is also having a direction, so it is considered as a vector quantity, which is important. The points which I have underlined with a green pen, they are important. Now, so covalent compounds consists of covalent bond which is formed due to the sharing of electrons. Now there is no cation, there is no anion, there is no loss of electron, there is no gain of electrons. Then how do the polarity arises in the covalent compound? That is a big question mark. So let us see this example to understand. Let me take hydrochloric acid, where there is a sharing of electrons between hydrogen and chlorine. Now, if we try to analyze the electronegativities of these two atoms, hydrogen is less electronegative and chlorine is more electronegative in nature. Now, electronegativity, as you all have studied in your earlier lessons, it is a tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons to itself. Now, this bond represents a shared pair of electrons between hydrogen and chlorine. Now, chlorine is more electronegative. So, because of being more electronegative atom, it tries to pull the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Now, you can see the arrow marks here. This indicates that the shared pair of electrons are pulled towards the chlorine. And the above one arrow mark, that represents the symbol of dipole moment. So always dipole moment has a direction, that is why it is a vector quantity. And what will be the direction of dipole moment? That will be towards the more electronegative atom. Now, first suppose there is an atom which has lone pair on it. In that case, the direction of dipole moment will be towards that lone pair. Now, if you see here hydrogen and chlorine, chlorine will be having 3 lone pairs on it. So, the direction of dipole moment will be towards that lone pair atom, towards electronegative atom. And if there are lone pairs, the direction will be towards the lone pair atom. Okay, so we are clear with the direction. Now, how do we represent this dipole moment? What is the symbol of it? The symbol of it is mu, and this is mathematically defined as the product of the charge on any atom and the internuclear distance between the two bonded atoms. Now, if we take the example here, hydrogen and chlorine, these are the two bonded atoms, and we have certain distance between the nucleus of hydrogen to the nucleus of chlorine. So, this distance is called as internuclear distance. and there is a charge on chlorine and hydrogen, not completely, partially. Because of more electronegativity of the chlorine atom, it doesn't pull the electrons completely, but it tries to attract more towards it. So because of this, the partial negativity arises on chlorine atom and partial positivity arises on hydrogen atom, and the magnitude of charge will be what? -1 and +1. So when you take the dipole moment, it is nothing but the product of that charge on an atom which arises because of the electronegativity difference and the internuclear distance. It can be notated as P vector also. In some books you will be finding P vector, but generally we will be using mu. So mu is nothing but Q into D. So from this you have to get an idea that the dipole moment will be depending on the charge as well as the distance. So these are the two factors which affect the dipole moment. So let us go to the next part. Now how to judge whether a given molecule is polar or non-polar. So till now we have understood the basic thing, like what is dipole moment, for what it is used, that is to judge the percentage of ionic character, and what is its symbol, what is its formula, so etc etc. Now we will see, using the dipole moment, how do we judge whether the given covalent molecule is polar or non-polar. So let us assume that a molecule is polar. Okay, in that case the net dipole moment will not be zero. The net dipole moment will not be zero. If there is a dipole moment, it is polar. If the dipole moment is not there, if the dipole moment is zero, then it is non-polar. So you have to find the total dipole moment of the molecule, not the dipole moment of a single atom. You have to find the dipole moment of the whole given molecule, and if it is zero, the compound is non-polar in nature, and if it is not equal to 0, the compound is polar in nature. So let us take an example here. I took the example of carbon dioxide. Now if you see the structure of carbon dioxide, one carbon atom is having two bonds with each oxygen atom. Now when we compare the electronegativities of carbon and oxygen, oxygen is more electronegative atom. So oxygen will try to pull the electrons towards itself. The same scenario with the other oxygen atom also. So carbon develops partial positive charge and the two oxygen atoms develop partial negative charge. Okay. Now there is a charge, but still the net dipole moment is zero. You may get confused, like dipole moment is nothing but product of charge and distance. Now there is a charge here, so there should be dipole moment and it should be a polar molecule, but it is not so. It is a non-polar molecule. Why? Because the dipole moment depends on the symmetry also, it depends on the structure also, it depends on the way the atoms are arranged. Now when you see here, so as I told you, the direction of dipole moment is towards electronegative atom. Now you can see here, this is the direction of dipole moment towards the first oxygen atom, and this is the direction of dipole moment towards the electronegative atom, that is second oxygen. Now how are these two dipole moments? They are exactly equal and opposite in direction, and moreover the atoms are of same type. So suppose if I assume the dipole moment is 1 here, the other dipole moment value also will be 1. So magnitudes are equal and opposite in direction. Now in this case, if you take the total dipole moment, as I told you, you have to consider net dipole moment. So the whole dipole moment for this molecule will be 0. Now when mu net is 0, the compound is what? Non-polar compound. So this is how we will be judging. So I just gave you the basic idea. In the next coming classes, I'll go into deep of this. Thank you so much.